What's up everyone, it's your boy Andy here and welcome to my first ever EA FC 24 video. In today's video I'm going to be showing you the best custom tactics on this game, considering the game is fully launched in about 24 hours. Everyone needs their tactics and I have 3 very good formations here that I'm going to show you how I went practically unbeaten in Rivals. So the 4-4-2 is my main go-to formation, which is the one I'm going to be talking the most about. However, I do use the other two like for 20-30 minutes per game anyway, and I do believe that the 4-2-2 is probably your best option if you're new to the game, if you're trying to figure out how to work stuff. If you struggle with the 4-4-2 in attacking or defensively, I think the 4-2-2 is the play. But I still wanted to show you this 4-4-2 because it's been helping me a lot, and I've told it to a couple of my friends already, and it's been helping them as well. So first of all, our defensive style is unbalanced and 50 width, both in offense and defense, just because the 4-4-2 is naturally just wide enough. Usually, you want players to kind of tuck in on FIFA, but this year crossing has been so overpowered that I just like to keep the normal width. And depth, I keep on 39. 39 is like a number I've found that just works perfectly for every formation. I think I have the 39 on the other two as well, yeah, on the 4-2-2 and on the 4-2-1-3. It's just anything below 45 is good, because from 45 and up, your team will naturally start to press. So if you have it on 45 or higher depth because you want to play higher up, be careful that from 45 your team will initiate its own press by itself. So 39 depth if you're not wanting to, or if you want to control the press yourself, or if you don't want your players to run out of position from time to time, I'd say 39 is the perfect number here. For offense, we have balanced in build-up play. Now, I've tried all of them, and what I've found consistently is that the balanced build-up play is the best one if you're if you're new to the game at least. You can play on long ball, I'll get to that in a second, but first of all, just every single one of the other ones, like slow build-up, fast build-up, and long ball, just feel very one-dimensional. Long ball, you want to try to hit the long ball to your strikers or to your wingers and then play it across. Slow build-up play, you keep possession and you just pass it around and then send the through ball. And fast build-up, it's just you wait for pressure and counter, which is why I found balanced to be the best one. And chance creation forward runs is just game breaking. I don't know what to say. I think it should be used in every single formation, no matter what you do. I don't know what about it that works so well, but I've tried all of them, and forward runs just gives me extra help in attack. And as I mentioned already, with 50 and players in box 7. This is the only formation I think where I have above 6. Players in box, and the only formation I would recommend having above 6 players in box out of my 3 at least. But it's more personal preference as well. But I have 2 sitting DMs or center mids, but I kind of want them to be higher up, like on the edge of the box, which is why I have 7 on players in box, because the wingers kind of tuck in when I have the ball for back post runs. For example, when I have the ball with my left winger, I can cross it all the way over to my right winger and he can just head or score from a volley. That's why I like having extra players, and then if I lose the header, I can win it again right outside the box with the other players, which is like kind of my own way of initiating press instead of having 45 depth. It's just I have a lot of players in box, so I can get that press immediately, and then as soon as if they play off the press, they all run the back as well. So that's my way of pressing in this game at least. So this is how I play in game. I kind of wanted to talk about some player profiles and some just personnel that I like, and really what I have enjoyed is having a couple tall center backs, strong center backs. Although the female center backs I've been hating on myself because they're so short, most of them, but genuinely I think you can easily pair up one of these with even a 5'5" center back, because no one yet is using or abusing the tall strikers. I think once we start seeing Haaland being used, for example, in weekly with loans, etc., we're going to be struggling a lot more with the shorter center backs. But for now, I think they work completely fine, to be honest. because I don't really notice Varane or Saliba winning a lot of headers or having to do a lot of strength battles. It's more just because they're tall and strong and fast that I use them. And I have them both untradeable as well, so it would be dumb to just go out of my way to use like an 84 rated 5'5" center back that I have to buy, you know? And they were perfectly for camp with Diaby too. And my center mids, I like having one taller and one shorter, but one of them just being focused on being more of a DM, and one of them being able to move the ball forward as well. And one thing I have noticed as well with the formation build-up like this is it's so easy to play out the back. I just play a pass from my keeper to my left back, for example, and then play it in or up to Diaby, down to Varane, Goretzka. Like, there's always one or two of them open, even if my opponent is playing constant pressure. And then I can just play triangles around my opponent until I have a run. And that's also why I like having 4 runs and not do like fast build up, because then I can actually have I can actually control my old build up, and it just works a lot better that way. As for my wingers, now usually I would like fast players on the wings, and I still stand by that because Diaby is very good, and he can combine with Goretzka and Al-Jabed very well as well. But I also do really like having Musiala. It does create kind of a different dynamic to the team than I would like to have, because Musiala is more of a kind of cut in, just R1 dribble or R1/RB dribble, just run. But he can just win headers in the air. He has 5-star skills. He's fun to use. He can do shit like you've probably seen on the screen now. I think I had a couple of highlights with him. And he can also take width. He can also cross. Not that I had the taller strikers, but that's a different thing I'll come on to later. But he's just very, very good as a winger, even if it's not his best position. I think him as a cam would be a lot better, but I also have Neymar untradeable, so I kind of have to use him here. But he works well. I like him a lot. And I do recommend him for like 100k, especially with the technical playstyle plus. And speaking of playstyle pluses, one of my strikers is Al-Jabed, who I bought because of Neymar chemistry, and then I could use Saliba instead of Koulibaly because I wanted to try him out. And there's light and day difference between them, I won't lie. But Al-Jabed is my favorite striker this year. I know I've been talking a lot of the crossing meta, and as you can see by my strikers, I don't abuse that shit that much. I do often run with Diaby, and if I don't see a cutback, which I rarely use because it's boring, but if I have to run down the line, I can just cross it to Musiala anyway. And what I like about my strikers as well is I have one not so technical player, 3-star, and then a 5-star player, like a dribbler. I would recommend using a tall striker as one of them, and I don't know how much I like Neymar striker, but I just like the formation in general, so there's no other place I can play him, and I don't want to drop anyone else. That's just more of how I have to play it. But regardless, I like the combination they have, because Al-Jabed can drop a little. I do have them both on getting behind and stay forward, so I don't necessarily try to play one of them deeper than the other. But what I like about Al-Jabed is even from outside the box, he can just score finesse shots because of the playstyle plus. I'll show you here what he has of playstyles. Like, he has the finesse shot playstyle plus, which is absolutely game breaking right now. It is the best playstyle plus when it comes to scoring, and you can just hit finesse shots with his right foot, his left foot, from outside the box, inside the box, even with a 3-star weak foot. And he also has the power shot. I haven't tried it out to see how the power shot playstyle really works, but it's nice to have as well, because that means his power shots are stronger. But I just don't have, I haven't been in a position where I need to take a power shot. I can just take a finesse. And also he has the rapid playstyle, which just makes him faster off the jump. However, this isn't a video about Al-Jabed. I just wanted to take a break and talk about him because he's genuinely the best striker I've used this year. And for 70k for a hero, that's insane, especially considering how many players are in the Saudi League this year. But moving on, we have the player instructions for my team. So as I already mentioned, I have my strikers on stay central, get in behind, and stay forward. What you notice about my 4-4-2 at least is that I have pairs. So we have the strikers, same pose. Like the strikers are have the same instructions. The wingers have the same instructions. The DMs have the same instructions. Left back and right back the same instructions, and then center backs. And goalkeeper, I have my own on, but I'll get to that. But we'll start with the strikers having stay central and get in behind and stay forward, because I don't need them to drop back. I already have 39 depth and I have a lot of players in the box. So it just feels more natural to have them stay forward, and it's easier to play up to one of the strikers and then play it out wide to Diaby or Musiala. And it's always easy to play up to Aljabet or Neymar if they stand kind of higher up the pitch and not necessarily inside the center back, but a little in front, which I've always noticed that the players aren't really like being super tightly marked, which is why it's nice not have, or why it's not fully necessary to have taller strikers if you don't want to cross, etc. And then we move on to the wingers. I have both on come back on defense, getting behind. This because come back on defense on them makes them work a little more defensively. Getting behind is just them going a little more centrally, and just creating a little more overload inside the box. And then for my fullbacks, I have stay back while attacking and overlap. In case they do make a run, they go on the outside of the winger and they don't tuck into midfield out of possession. Something I noticed a lot last year is when I switched off of overlap, my left back would always try to play a makeshift DM. And that you cannot have that this year, especially with how OP crossing is. And then finally, again, I've mentioned crossing way too much this video already, but it's have your goalkeeper on comes of crosses. Just do it. Just do it. They might catch a cross every now and then if you don't move them, and it's nice to just have that option. But yeah, that's my 4-4-2. And now moving on, we have the 4-2-1-3 and the 4-2-2. I think we'll start with the 4-2-2, which is a very similar formation to the 4-4-2. However, this is more of a defensive kind of playstyle, or well, not a defensive, but more defensively strong kind of playstyle. Sorry, where if you are struggling to attack, in the 4-4-2 you can switch to this, but also if you're struggling to defend this especially, then you switch to this formation. I have 48 width, just anywhere between 45 and 50 width is fine, and again 39 depth. And once again I have balanced and forward runs with 50 depth, width, sorry, and players in box I have on 3. Now this is just to counteract the few players, or this is just to stop counters from the width, really, that I have so few players in box, because in the 4-2-2 compared to the 4-4-2, there's more space between the wingers and the fullbacks, which is why I kind of have fewer players in box. And it's just, you have to initiate your own press again, but then again, I'm using this formation as more of a, when I need to defend, or if I'm struggling to defend, I just have to have a couple more players back behind the ball. So this is, again, you can try this out with personal preference. This is just what I recommend. And then corners and free kicks, personal preference completely. You can have it on 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. That's fully up to you. And so this is how I played in game. It's the same as my 4-4-2, just the players are a little higher up. And what you'll notice here is one of my strikers are on comeback on defense, while the other is on stay forward. In the 4-4-2, I had both of them stay forward, but here there's space between the DMs, cams, and strikers. There's like a hole in the middle. So I kind of want a player to drop a little deeper so I can just play between the lines a little easier. And the wingers you'll see have basically the same. They have come back on defense and get into the box for cross instead of getting behind. And the DMs have stay back while attacking, cover center. But what is very important here, that is a thing only DMs can have and not center mids, that you need on this game is cut passing lanes. Because if you don't have it, then players or your DMs will automatically try to attack the player. But if they attract the passing lanes, it's way easier for you to steal the ball. Because dribbling is so OP this year that you can't really get the ball off of them unless you actually manually tackle them. So having cut passing lanes just means that you can press a player, your DM will cover the passing lane as well, which makes it easier for you to steal the ball. And then again, fullbacks on the same, and goalkeeper on comes for crosses. And I have this one on sweeper keeper just because I want him to get a little further out. And if I have possession, if I take the team up the field, I want someone back there to have a safety net. But I don't need that in the 4-4-2 because that's a formation I more keep possession in. And finally, the 4-2-1-3. Now, I've built this very, very similarly to my 4-2-2. I have 47 width instead of 48, which again, it's just whatever. Between 45 and 50, I just picked a random number. 39 depth again, balance the forward runs again. Width, I have a little wider because this is a formation with wingers, and it's a formation where I switch to when I would try to attack and when I need goals. Brazen box is one less than my 4-4-2, but then again, that is because I have 3 attackers in this instead of like 2 midfielders, you know. And then again, corners and free kicks, completely personal preference. I like to have this one at least at 3 when it's the attacking formation, but again, it's completely up to you. I would recommend 1 if you do consider the counters from corners and free kicks though. And this is the formation 4-2-1-3. This is our playing game. Basically, I just moved one of the strikers a little deeper. Now the reason I have Neymar Cam here and Al Jaber on the one that's on comeback on defense, or whatever it was in the 4-2-2, is because Neymar is better as a cam or as an attacking midfielder. Meanwhile, having a player drop a little deeper is what I want Al Jaber to do for the finesse shots, which is an easy explanation if you were wondering why I did why I've done what I've done. And then the player instructions are the same again. Come back on defense, get into the box for cross, and the strikers stay central, get in behind, stay forward. Cam completely untouched. DM's exact same as the last ones, passing lanes, stay back while attacking, cover center. Right back and left back on stay back while attacking, overlap, and goalkeeper should be on comms for crosses. That's I probably changed that when I made this team earlier. So yeah, that's my 3 formations that I have been using in Rival so far, and this is obviously the team again. And if you have any formations you would like me to do a walkthrough and try out or anything, just let me know. And remember, do not use 5-backs. Those are ratty as shit. Even though they're OP, stick to these formations. And if you're struggling to attack against the 5-back formations, these formations work perfectly well. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.